Good night, good morning, good afternoon, as the case may be. Welcome back to Midlife Priceless. It's time to burn some midnight oil. This is sort of a sequel, if not a follow up, to the inauguration event of POTUS 47. What I want to talk about is everything, I guess. This is not a politically driven channel, but again, as I've said before, I cannot be a member of my socioeconomic, my religious, my spiritual or religious, as you want to, as you prefer, of my racial communities, subgroups, and all, without paying attention, commenting, and acknowledging that we're in a situation right now. As you know or may not know, tonight the State of the Union address was being delivered in Washington, D.C. by POTUS 47. And both family and friends have asked me, well, Margaret, are you going to watch it? And I said, no, I never watch it. And before you judge what I just said, let me tell you why. I do not watch the State of the Union addresses because I find the cinematic quality, the production, the um, visual propaganda. I can't do it. I can't do it. I do not want to be influenced by what I see. I want to be influenced by what I hear. So I never watch the State of the Union address. I read it. Usually, New York Times and a lot of the major newspapers, they will publish a transcript, and I always watch I read the transcript at all times. I'll copy paste into a Word document, and then I eliminate the acknowledgments that are offered. And oh, tonight with us, we have fill in the blank, who is a hero because fill in the blank. I don't want to hear about that. I want to hear about the State of the Union, not the state of individuals, because we all deserve to be acknowledged if that's what we're going to do. So, good night, Claude, Kadir, and Jason Goo. Claude Trotter, Kadir Sira, I think it is. Oh, you're in Turkey. Hi. Never been to Turkey, but it's on my list. Jason Goo, 4454. So I watched instead Roland Martin and his broadcast, and it's still going on right now, but I stepped away because, well, it's been a long night for one, and I can always hit it on the replay, but I think I got the gist of the content, and I think that he did a beautiful job. So kudos to Roland Martin, and I wish this was a regular um, assembly. He had over 200,000 viewers when I dipped out just now. And oh, okay, Claude says he's still watching. Claude Trotter says he's still watching. I'm not finished with it, and I missed the first hour, so I kind of got the middle of it. So I got to go back to the beginning and then pick up where I left off, and that's fine. It's on my playlist. But several things have come out of this for me. One is there was a comment made by his name, I think, is Foster. Please just bear with me for a moment here. Let me look at my notes. Dr. William Barber II, Bishop, very well educated theologian, and he used the phrase 100 days of thunder. And I thought it was just the most condensed way to explain the first 100 days of the presidency. It is 100 days of thunder. Claude is asking, did I see the pastor there with the Hampton University shirt on? I didn't. I'm going to go back and check it out, though. I can promise you that. Um, for any of you boomers or anyone just tuning in, Claude Trotter and I are classmates from Hampton. So we're always championing the Hampton pirate cause, be it sports, politics, or anything else. So, hi, classmate. Um, so that's one thing. The Roland Martin show, if you did not see it, did not tune in, please get your head out of the sand and go watch it. And speaking of getting my head out of the sand, Claude, you asked me to watch a video. I'm going to watch it. I swear I'm going to watch it. It's just been that kind of day, and I'll tell you why privately. Um, but some other things drifted up and bubbled up at the top of my news feed, and one is a letter that was written to Trump by former president of Poland. He was at one time a political prisoner, and he also is a recipient of the Pulitzer Peace Prize. He wrote, his name Lech Walesa. Please forgive me if I'm not pronouncing his Polish name correctly. But he wrote a letter to Trump and warned him. It's almost ominous. It's very creepy almost if you aren't ready to hear what former President Lech Walesa had to say. It's sobering, it's frightening, it's all the things. And it is out for you to read. Of course, I couldn't find the whole letter without the ads and this and that, but try your best. And if you can find it, please read it word for word. It's a piece of history, in my opinion. Um, the other thing that came to mind while I was watching is a Netflix series called How to Become a Tyrant. Tyrants. Uh, there are 5 steps. But before I get into that, quickly, I looked up tyrants. What tyrants have we experienced in human history? Never mind national history. And it all really, the earliest records seem to come from ancient Greece. And I'm sure that's simply because we can't read hieroglyphics the way that we wish we could. But the names that came up, obviously, Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, Mao Zedong, Benito Mussolini, Pol Pot, Saddam Hussein, Idi Amin, Fidel Castro. Hold that, put a pin in that one. Kim Jong Il, Francisco Franco, Muammar Gaddafi, and then the drug lords. Now, the process seems to be the same no matter who the tyrant is. No matter who the tyrant is. The names keep coming again and again and again. Now, why did I say put a pin with Fidel Castro's name? There are people who regard him as a hero and not a tyrant. That's up for public debate. I can't get into that tonight and in this moment. I would say look into each one of those cases and know that this is not a national phenomenon. It is a human phenomenon. We have had them throughout history. Their effects have been devastating. Caligula comes to mind. I mean, they've just been there all along, and it always took the people, whoever the people are, to stand up against it and put a muzzle on it or eliminate it altogether. And you take that to mean whatever you take it to mean. But if you watch on Netflix this series, well, I don't know that it's a series, but it's a documentary called How to Become a Tyrant. There are 5 steps to becoming a tyrant. And now you take what you will from it, but look at POTUS 47 and tell me where he's failed this process. The first step is to cultivate your passion for power. If you look back at POTUS 47, 50, what is he, 47's previous TV appearances, his celebrity, his reality show, it's always a thirst for power that he's drawing on, and he just can't leave it alone, and he can't it's an insatiable thirst for him. So we've watched that since about, I want to say, the early 80s is when he came on my radar. Before that, I was probably too young to be aware of him, his family, and all the things they've done. The second step to becoming a tyrant is to foster dependence. What does that mean? Well, dependent upon the U.S., be it money, dependent upon the party for your mission, for your objectives, dependent upon development initiatives, the things he did in New York that people came to rely on and regard as a success story. Never mind the failures, they simply don't want to accept it. Uh, what comes to mind too with fostering dependence, I went to Jersey Shore, where they have all the casinos and everything. And I remember seeing telephones on a wall, and people were mortgaging their homes just for one more chance at the roulette table or the green carpet area or whatever. To see grown men and women mortgaging everything they've ever worked for, all on a game of chance, was a sad thing. If you need more of a realistic view, check out Casino. It's a great movie, but it's telling a lot of truth about who's in that facility, in that operation, who's running it, and why, and how they do things. Um, there was another, and it has escaped me at the moment. Oh, I know what it was. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. And I can't even tell you what network this was on. Oh God, it'll come back to me, but that's a really good one. This one is taking place during the Depression years in the US, and it does take place in Jersey at the same type of location, in the casino and the boardwalk and all the things. I can't think of the name, but if you know it, put it in the chat. By the way, welcome, welcome, welcome to Midlife Priceless. If you have not already, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. You know me, I just never remember to say that, so I just remembered. Thank you. Please and thank you. So, 5 steps to becoming a tyrant. The first one is to cultivate your passion for power. The second is to foster dependence. The third is to develop your cult of personality. Just think about how many people associate themselves. Never mind that they aren't rich or they don't have the access and reach that POTUS 47 has. They feel that he is a cult of personality and they want to be a part of it. We saw the same thing with Jonestown. Remember when all those people were served Kool-Aid? The Jonestown massacre in Guyana. We've seen it all before. Cult of personality. Who's another good one? Hell, you can even look at entertainment. There are people who want to tell you that Elvis isn't dead. I mean, it's just a lot to deal with when you're talking to someone who simply can't get past the cult of a personality. The fourth thing that develop how to become a tyrant. The fourth thing you need to do is foster fear. Oh, they've got your jobs. Oh, they're coming over here. They're killing your women and raping your children and all the things. They just come up with this whole conspiracy theory to scare the living you know what out of you. I'll stop there. I'm sure that I'm about to get a strike for using the words I just used, but it is what it is. The fifth thing and the final thing you need to do is take over and have full control of the judicial system. Isn't that what happened with our Supreme Court here in the US? And by the way, let's not pick on the US. Every country has had its tyrants. I named them before, and they're from different countries, from Asia to Africa to South America to Europe. We've all had to contend with this as a problem, and it is a problem. But it is up to the people to stand up, don't stand down. Don't take a 4 year hiatus until this is all over with. By the time those 4 years have passed, you wouldn't even recognize the street you live on. And that is what Dr. William Barber, Bishop Barber, the second, was talking about. This is no time for that. And I'm so, so, so grateful for that show. You can complain about Roland Martin all you like, and if you don't agree with him, you don't have to agree with him on every single thing, but agree on the point of fact that we are under attack. Our community is under is in a stressful situation, and him winning the election, or so we are told, is also stressful in a way that it causes what we call community depression. The community can be depressed just as much as a person. And I think we're experiencing a lot of those symptoms right now: hopelessness, giving up, and not, trying to sleep through it all and hoping it just goes away. It must be a bad dream. We go into denial with this, and that's a problem when society gives up on itself. Finally, I want to close with the 7 abominations that God despises. So, what I've done is try to talk to you all about the fact of the matter, the theoretical of the matter, and finally, I'm going to wrap up here with the spiritual of the matter. Um, this is Proverbs chapter 6, verse 17. Look it up in any version you like. And I am ad-libbing. I'm not quoting biblical verse, just to make it easier for us to go through the list. There are 7. One, sorry for the noise, but my window is open and I'm enjoying the breeze, but now there's an airplane passing. So, um, 7 abominations that God despises is a proud look. And I'll give you all time to think through these things. Have you seen a proud look from POTUS 47? The second is a lying tongue. I only need to give you a minute. I can give you 3 seconds on that, and you know the deal. The third thing God despises is or are hands that shed innocent blood. Doesn't necessarily mean war. There are people who are living without, doing without, children who are not being tended to, be it through education, healthcare services, food. How can we have food deserts and this is supposed to be the most successful country on the planet? How are our veterans sitting on corners while we write trillion-dollar checks to foreign land, all for favor? There has to be a better solution than the one we're applying. The fourth thing God despises is a heart that devises wicked imaginations, meaning ideas. Taking over Gaza, building a hotel, and turning it into a resort. Sir, have you lost your ever loving mind? I mean, I know the answer, but I just have to ask the universe. The fifth thing God despises is feet that are swift to run to mischief. I feel every day we wake up, there's an assault. You can't sleep a night in peace, knowing that you'll wake up in peace. You almost go to bed thinking, or go to sleep thinking, good Lord, what's going to happen tomorrow? Will we experience another 9/11 because we've been so offensive? What about Canada? What about the Middle East? What about Africa? What about the that man from South Africa who grew up in a tradition of bigotry? And now he wants to apply it. How can you have been here less than 10 years? I think he's been here like 5 or something like that. How can you have been here that short amount of time and simply walk into our government like that? Are we that stupid? Are we that weak? Are we for sale like that? POTUS 47 said some comment about buying Greenland. How dumb. For what? Buy. Everything's not for sale. And here's the thing. We have to know as Americans that some people are willing to die for the cause. So insulting Zelensky for wearing combat gear, that man fights his own wars. He doesn't sit in his ivory tower. So get yourself together in DC. Y'all, you politicians, get your mind right. Number 6 of the 7 abominations, the things God despises, is a false witness that speaks lies. Here again, no contest with this man. He will just say something to cause confusion. He's wagging the dog constantly, just saying stuff. If we were in school on the playground, he's the kid that got beat up all the time because he's just too much. And it's the only way to shut him down. Even with 5 other children beating him up, he's still going to get up and say, and then he just can't stop himself. Finally, he that soweth discord among brethren. Again, not necessarily within our borders. Why are you sowing discord amongst the human race? Why are we letting you do this? And that brings me to my final point and my final question. Why, Democrats, have you no more muscle than what we're seeing? You want us to come out and protest. You want us to come out and participate. And you're right. We do need to do that. But where's the leadership for this? And specifically, the Black Caucus. Where the hell are they? There's a YouTuber that always talks about us having an agenda. We don't have an agenda because we don't talk to each other and we don't have the representation. When is the last time any of us have ever heard or seen the NAACP other than to ask for or solicit your membership in church? Meet us in the vestibule. It's not good enough anymore. This is a different time with different requirements, different enemies. So that's my thought. Right here, right now, burning the midnight oil. I appreciate your listening, thinking with me, talking with me, such as we do on YouTube. And I would love to know what you think about all of this. You don't have to comment now. You don't even have to like right now. I want you to like right now. I want you to comment right now. But sometimes we just have to think through these things. Just have to think through it all. What are we teaching our young people about civics? Why did we take it out of the school system? Why do they not understand that executive orders are not easily restored? We see that they're not easily rescinded, and the domino effect of rescinded executive orders. But we need to teach them about the choices that are out there and how one thing affects the other. And I'm not sure we've done a great job of that. So that's everything. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining. Thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing. And I will talk to you tomorrow. I still don't have, I know I have a couple of subscribers that are young men. They're 15. So, hi, guys, if you're listening. I do not have the chalk yet, but I have designed my hopscotch game. I know, very trivial based on what I just said, but got to close it out with something positive here. I will be playing hopscotch when I get the chalk, my loves. This had to do with, for those who don't know, and you don't see every single video that I post, I had gone to the Harambe Festival, the 2025 Harambe Festival here in Tallahassee, and I had a wonderful time. But what I desired was for there to be something for children to do and to learn about our culture at their stage of life, the games, the songs, the traditions, how to cook a certain thing. And I'm a latchkey kid. You had to learn how to cook and a lot of things. So I wanted there to be more of that. So I wanted to, I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to find some kids and teach them Miss Mary Mac. I don't know if you know what that is. It's a hand and clapping and something game we used to do with kids in the schoolyard. Something to do to get away from the digital. I think they need to learn about how to entertain themselves better than just, mommy, can I use your phone? Or, you can't get their attention. If I see one more child cross the street that never looks up because they're on the phone, I think I'll holler. Hmm. All right. That's all. That's it, and that's all. Love ya. Talk soon. Thanks for joining me.